Good morning. Welcome to your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Mostly sunny and on the cold side out there this morning, with temperatures just pushing into the upper part of the 30s, sitting around 36 at the moment. But mostly sunny skies and a quiet day ahead of us. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We have high pressure in control over the region, keeping things quiet. We'll continue to do so for the next 48 hours or so before we see some more active weather and much colder temperatures moving into the area for the latter part of the week. If we look at the upper level winds from this morning's balloon sounding, we have some northwesterly winds near the surface to northerly winds, and then becoming more northwesterly to westerly as we go up through the column, with the peak wind of 53 knots, around 25,000 feet, and the freezing level is at the surface. If you take a look at the current visible satellite, we can see just a few low clouds well off the coast, as well as some high clouds well to our south. We also have some mid-level clouds off to the west. Those will be moving into the area as we get later in the day today and into the evening hours, but otherwise expecting mostly sunny conditions for most of the daytime hours today. If you take a look at the GFS model, see how things play out for the next 7 days, we can see here high pressure will continue to stay in control of the area for the next 48 hours or so. We'll slowly start to see that high pressure move off to the east as we get some area of troughiness over the southeast that will develop into a low pressure system that will bring some moisture as well as eventually some showers up into the area for our Thursday. And as that low pressure tracks over the area, we'll see some breezy conditions later in the day Thursday and into the evening hours with those continued rain showers. And then we have this strong cold front that will be approaching the area behind that, where we'll see some showers remain in the area for the Friday morning, and then that front will start to push through the area during the day on Friday, likely seeing our high temperature in the morning hours and then a sharp drop in temperatures after this front pushes through, bringing along with it some very breezy conditions. Could see gusts up to 40, possibly 45 knots as this front passes through, remaining breezy afterwards. Very slight chance of seeing maybe a few flurries on the backside of this, but mainly to the north of the Wallops area, so not expecting anything real significant locally here. Just a few flurries possibly, but otherwise we'll see a lot of cold air ushering in for the weekend, with seeing some of the coldest temperatures we've seen so far this season continuing through the weekend and to start the beginning of next week. But we'll see high pressure build back in and keep things quiet as we go into the weekend and beginning of next week. So if we take a look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we are green across the board for weather risk. Not expecting much of a warm-up today, expecting the temperatures to cap off around 42 degrees this afternoon, with winds fairly light out of the north-northwest at 6 to 11 knots. Could see a few peak gusts up to 16 to 17 knots as we go through the afternoon hours, and then we'll see those winds taper down a bit as we go into the evening hours. We'll also see an increase in some mid and high level clouds for the first part of the evening. We'll see those start to thin out as we go through the overnight and into the morning hours tomorrow. We'll also see those winds lighten up out of the north at 4 to 9 knots for the morning hours Wednesday, and those temperatures bottom out around 28 degrees to start the day on Wednesday. Otherwise, tides are running normal at the moment, and if we look into our Wednesday, another seasonable day ahead of us for Wednesday with just some partly cloudy conditions, green across the board for weather risk, just a couple degrees above what we see today with a high around 45, but that's fairly seasonable for this time of year. And as we go into Wednesday evening, we'll see an increase in some of the clouds ahead of the next disturbance that moves into the area. So we'll start off partly cloudy, and then we'll become mostly cloudy later in the day, and then becoming overcast as we get into the morning hours for our Thursday. A very slight chance of a light sprinkle ahead of the system, but expecting that not to really reach the surface. But otherwise, a slightly milder night with a low around 37 degrees, but green across the board for weather risk. As we go into Thursday, we'll see that disturbance make its way into the area with cloudy conditions. We'll see rain showers likely by the late morning hours, and then we'll have a slight chance of a thunderstorm later in the day as that low pressure tracks over the area. We'll see the most instability, but just a slight chance of an embedded thunderstorm at the moment. Otherwise, we'll see slightly breezy conditions becoming breezy as we get later in the day and into the evening hours. Milder day with a high around 56, but we are red for that precip risk, yellow for the lightning risk, and we are orange for those winds that are above 25 knots, and yellow for those reduced ceilings and visibilities. Take a look at the extended forecast. We expect some rain chances to linger around through the morning hours for Friday, and then we'll see a high again around 58 Friday, and that will likely be in the morning, and then we'll see temperatures sharply drop behind the front as it passes through, and we'll see things clear and dry out behind that, but we'll also see some windy conditions, again expecting gusts up around 40 knots at the moment, and possibly maybe a few up to 45 at the peaks. But otherwise, we'll see temperatures dropping with a low around 19 degrees Friday evening, and just getting up to a high around 30 as we go into the day on Saturday, with partly cloudy and continued breezy conditions for Saturday. And then we'll see winds start to lighten up a bit to just slightly breezy for our Sunday. Again, mix of sun and clouds for Sunday, with a low even cooler around 17 degrees for Sunday morning, and just getting up to 31 degrees for Sunday. As we go into Sunday evening, expecting a low around 18 degrees, so once again in the teens, and then a couple degrees warmer for our Monday with a high around 36, and partly cloudy conditions for our Monday. Well, that will wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.